Welcome to the Team Engagement Podcast, where leaders of teams share their insights. We discuss 6 questions in 9 minutes because leaders know how to be concise. We'll jump right to it. First question, in a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, everyone. I'm Christopher Wycoco. We run a tax payroll bookkeeping service company in Texas, and we help our clients to get funding during the CARES Act, all the guidelines here in the IRS state level and even the city level.
Well, very much needed at this point, so thank you for your service in that regard. Question number 2, what's the best thing about working with a team?
We are only as strong as our weakest link. Any type of successful business will not run by a one-man show. Having the team would help you to really focus on what's the most important part of the business. This is more on working on and managing the business. And then you have a reliable people that will work and executing the different projects of the team, so of the company. So that's why it's very important to have them, because they will help you to execute all the goals and take into action.
That's a great observation. Question number 3, I hear from other leaders of teams that it can be a challenge to get team members engaged. Tell us your thoughts.
In terms of the engagement, it is what I've experienced for the past 5 or 10 years of running a business. It is not just the monetary, it's not just the salary, it's not a dollar per dollar value, but you also have to know what are the motivations they want for the company to do the job. It is more about how would they be compensated in terms of how you made them feel. Sometimes recognition by giving them certificate, all of those things coming into play, and simply telling them that they did a good job. It's the best way to engage, because it's how you made them feel at the end and how you made them feel that they are part of the bigger picture of the company more than the money that you're paying.
That is such a great observation to help them connect their role with the bigger vision. I love that concept. Question number 4, what other piece of advice would you offer to leaders of teams?
For the best advice is there's no shortcut to success. And nobody will be perfect. We have to choose improvement rather than perfection. And the team need to see that, because if we have to manage the expectation, but don't manage the person. It's a day-to-day basis that you have to get to know them, because when you take care of your employees by having a weekly meeting, they will be the one taking care of your customers.
I really like that comment about managing expectations, but not the person. It's a great comment, great idea. Yes. Question number 5, what other successful team leaders, such as yourself, would you like to recognize that have had a positive influence in your life?
One of the most successful leaders, I feel, actually it's not just one, but 2. Number 1 would be Robert Kiyosaki. This is the Rich Dad Poor Dad book that I've been reading since I was in school. It teaches you a lot of valuable lessons, not just to learn in school, but also learn outside the school by selling. And that will give you that it is not the school or whatever you finish will define your success, but it is what your practical experience in terms of dealing with people. And number 2 is Jack Ma. Jack Ma is the founder of Alibaba, and he started his business at the age of 30 with no knowledge about the internet, and he doesn't know about any e-commerce that time, way back on 1990s. It is a good example that doesn't matter how you start, but what matters is how you finish or where you see yourself. That should boost your motivation and your leadership towards your goal, because we need to be more goal oriented. Your background, your age, your gender, your ethnicity will never define how far you will go in life.
That's great advice. Thank you. And thank you for recognizing those individuals as well. Well, last question. Tell us about your first job.
I started my job, it is very far different from what I'm doing right now. I graduated in Bachelor's of Science in Nursing way back in the Philippines. Then, because it was my family, my parents really wanted me to, to be in the health professions, because that is the easiest and fastest way to get in America. Like every other Filipino family would like to have a nurse as a family member. I did work because my mom and my dad, they used to work in the hospital, but the only problem that I've seen, the employment doesn't give you so much time and financial freedom. But of course, out of respect, I have to make it. So I did very well in my job. I did work for at least 2 or 3 years, but then eventually, when I get to America way back to 2010, I said it is my own decision. I don't have nothing. I don't have anything to prove to anybody but to myself. So that's why when you step out of your comfort zone, being employee, and you don't rely on paycheck to paycheck, you will work harder. You will work earlier, smarter than what you've been doing as employee, because you don't have nothing, no paycheck to rely on, but to your business. So you have to make it work one way or another.
Wow, that's such an inspirational story. Thank you for sharing it. And Chris, thank you also for being on our podcast today. How can people find you?
Yes, guys, if you have any questions, we are giving free consultations on how you can get most of the CARES Act funding for small businesses in terms of the EIDL, the PPP forgiveness program. Also, there are small grants that we're working with the city and state. And as of this moment, we are working with the different IRS credits, because they're giving 10 to 13, even 20,000, depending on the business laws. Just find us on Wycotax. Our website is wycotax.com, but you can also find us on Facebook by typing Wycotax. It's WYCOTAX. If you want to connect to me in person, you can find my profile LinkedIn, Chris Wycoco. Again, it's Chris Wycoco. So you kind of get the idea where the Wycotax came from. It's from my last name. I hope to chat and connect with you soon, guys.
Well, thanks so much, Chris. This is Sean Richards with the Team Engagement Podcast, where leaders of teams share their insights. Thanks so much for joining us. And for more ideas, you can find us on LinkedIn by searching Blue Sky Business Consulting, and have yourself a great day.